Good afternoon, folks. This is good old Reverend Ordo, and this is the anonymous Mando'Ade Network. Wow, what? Scientology is back in the picture. Always has been. And it's kind of funny how a cult that tries to put itself as to be this fake church, okay? And they fought for years and years to get a tax exempt status, right? The cult trying to get tax exempt status, right? Their main headquarters is not in LA. It's in Clearwater, Florida. And they buy up all these buildings in a certain block radius. And they're not even open. Not even open. Because Jason Begay, who's an actor that is who's the main character in Chicago PD, a former Scientologist. He says they don't have 10 million members like they say they do. They have about 9,000 under, because a lot of people have left over the last 70 plus years now. 9,000 dropping. Okay? They don't have millions of people. If they had millions of members, they would have had all these businesses they bought, open up, being used, but they don't. They don't. They buy up real estate, right? They buy up real estate, and all this real estate shit, because they spent billions of dollars on real estate that they're not using. They're not using, you know. And it's kind of like turning Clearwater, Florida into a ghost town, you know. Now, Scientology has been, their style of religion has been used in games like GTA 5, Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2, they're known as the Nuke Dawn. The New Dawn. And in GTA 5, they're known as the Epsilon program. And they have a building in the game that looks like the blue building they have in Los Angeles. And that building was used in a backdrop for a Three Stooges short. You know, and so right around 1953, L. Ron Hubbard was this failing science fiction writer. His books weren't selling much. A movie based on one of his books, Battlefield Earth, did not do well in the box office and shit. Did not do well. That movie fucking bombed, man. It fucking bombed, dude. And it was done at a studio owned by the Cult of Scientology. The movie fucking sucked. It fucking bombed, you know. And you got these people who are like, yeah, I'm a hardcore, true blue Scientologist. Yeah. Who makes $50 a week. And when you leave, you have nothing. They make you leave everything behind. So you work for the church 24/7, 365. And they have kids young as 5 working 14-hour days. You know. And it's like, dude, man, that's violating the child labor laws, man. You know? And you think about the laws of child labor, man. Like, dude, you know, look, 5-year-old should be in school. You know, and if you violate other rules, you get punished for it. You know. And if you're a woman who wants to have a baby, they force you to have an abortion because basically they don't want spouses to have any kids, right? Only ones who are high up the echelon of Scientology can only have kids. But if you're a lower level, they want you to have an abortion, right? So, what kind of church is that? You know, want you to have an abortion, right? I'm telling you, you cannot have that kid because you're a member of the Sea Org. Well, fuck the Sea Org, dude. Shit. Edward Hubbard bought a ship that's yay long, yay wide, housing tons of dumbasses who are getting paid only $50 a week. Right? $50 a week. They want to use you as slave labor. Right? They want you to be slave labor. And they put Ron Hubbard as he's this deity, which he's only a man, failed science fiction writer, crook, criminal and shit, who organized Operation Snow White, by the way. Look it up. Operation Snow White. Check it out. Operation Snow White. What it is, it's an operation that they would break into government buildings like FBI, anything they can find that, because they want to know if the cult being investigated. And whose idea was it? L. Ron Hubbard's idea. We all know that Dianetics is a complete scamming bullshit. You know, the e-meters, nothing more than a lie detector machine. That's all it is. No more, no less. So, they are in about, I would say, 8-9 countries, 10 countries. They got banned in Russia. They got banned in Israel. They got banned in Australia. They got banned in, I think, France. The founding members of the family that founded the church have distanced themselves from the church because L. Ron Hubbard was a student of Aleister Crowley, just like Anton LaVey. You know, and if like their own definition of a subversive person is someone who acts against the church. And what they do is they break up families. They break up families. Okay? They do. And they go after critics, and they will lie up. They will try to find something on you. Okay? They spend $10,000 a day, right? On PIs to follow you, track you, and whatever they have on you, they go back to the mothership. And if they can't find anything on you, they will make it up. They'll make it up, you know. And so it's one of their games of, well, if we can't get you this way, we'll get you this way. So it's insane because they're a cult. They're a cult of tax exempt status. Listen, a cult with a tax exempt status. They're not really a church. They're a criminal organization, man. You know, a criminal organization. You know, so I mean, it's just that if you speak out against the church, there's a thing called fair play, right? In L. Ron Hubbard's playbook, to defend the church, you need to be on the attack, non-stop. Sue them. Break them financially, whatever you can. Break them, scare them, intimidate them. But we all know nobody's intimidated by the church. You know, nobody's intimidated. You know, because these days they're out there trying to recruit. Recruiting is kind of infinitesimal. You know, very infinitesimal, because so much backlash, so much, everything was done, documentaries, movies, you name it, the whole thing. So much shit about the cult. Membership is dwindling. Okay, dwindling. They don't have enough people to run the buildings they bought in Clearwater, Florida, and Los Angeles. No. And they would block off about 4 or 6 blocks because they're having a celebration for the graduates of the church. They will block off about 4 to 6 blocks. Either way. They'll block about 4 to 6 blocks north, south, east, west of the church. You know, and which is illegal because it's traffic. You cannot block traffic, man. And what they do is they hire security to monitor each block, make sure that nobody enters those blocks. You know. Even if you live on the block, you can't go. Well, I live here. Don't care. Get out of here. And they have some members. They have some members of the city council in their pocket. Even members of law enforcement in their pocket. If money talks, bullshit walks, folks. You know, it happens. Money talks, bullshit walks. And bullshit will do what money says. And so, that's how it is. Oh, by the way, I had something come in today. I had something come in today. And, I'm talking on their phone, but like this here, This is the sign of the 7 angels. And I have one of it's an insignia for the archangels and stuff. I've been really spiritual as of late. Really just really spiritual. I mean, like seriousness, like some seriousness, man. You know, symbols of the 7 angels. I saw that. I liked it. It was real nice, man. So I got it, and I feel like I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I'm just like really following a different path. You know, I feel like it's something important for me. You know, here and here, and I put this on. I was wearing a necklace that had the Mayan calendar on it. The Mayan calendar. They call it the Mayan calendar, which is not calendar. It's just some dumb fuck saying, well, it means end of the world. No, it does not. It's just astral, like something to stars. But the whole Maya calendar thing is just really fucking stupid, dude. It's like it's the end of the world. No, it's not. They've been saying that for years, you know, for years. It's counting down to 2012. Yeah, 13 years ago, asshole. Shit. It'll be 13 years, you know, shit. And but yeah, man, you know, Scientology is not a real church. It's a cult. It deals with control, punishing their members. It's all about money, man. It's all about how much money you get that they can get from you by giving you these studies that was done by L. Ron Hubbard himself, which is like, here's how the world began. A galactic overlord named Xenu dropped souls in volcanoes, and when they erupted, they're called Thetans. Yeah, Thetan D's nuts. And if you mention Xenu, they're like, they go nuts, man. They go nuts. You know, Xenu is not. Xenu is basically the name of a goddamn comic book character, man. Like, who's Xenu? Who's Xenu? It's a thought character that came out of the mind of L. Ron Hubbard, who is a science fiction writer, a failed one at that, whose movie based on his book Battlefield Earth tanked in the box office in 1997, 98. Even the book did poorly in sales, man. Nobody bought it, man. Yeah, they bought the book, but the thing was like, this is a piece of shit. Still a cult. I think what needs to happen is that they need to be investigated big time. You know, find out where and how they got their tax exempt status. You know, and how much money did they spend bribing somebody to give them the status, man? You know, the exempt status. Because they've been investigated for the last 70 years, man. Like, dude, you know, how come nobody is saying, well, we need to look at the Church of Scientology and figure out how make them pay tax and shit, because since they're not really a church, they're a cult, let's remove their tax exempt status, since they're not really a church. They're a cult organization. You know. Do you know the when you go on the internet, you see some websites with the .com, .net, .org shit? They own the rights to .net and .org. Yeah. They own the rights to .net, .org. Yeah. Wow, that's kind of funny, isn't it? Not in the hospital, but more of a, yeah, it's kind of fishy, huh, isn't it? Yeah. But, the Church of Scientology needs to lose their tax exempt status because they don't deserve it, they don't need it. They're not really a church because, look, they claim they have 10 million members. Survey says, bullshit. Jason McGay, who was in the film with Demi Moore, G.I. Jane, and he's also in the show Chicago PD. He says in a interview, he said they don't have 10 million members. That's for damn sure. They have under 9,000 plus and dropping fast. A lot of people have left the church. I mean, they lost. They left. Right? They say, they claim we're the fastest organization ever. Yeah, you're fast at losing members, moron. And then you got David Miscavige claiming, oh, he's the Pope. I was like, go fuck yourself, dude. Here's a guy with a 9th grade education. Okay? He's been leading Scientology for nearly 40 years. Okay? This guy needs to be locked the fuck up, dude. Okay? Scientology is worse than these schools you see back in the past where we're a helping organization help troubled youth. No, you're there to hurt troubled youth. You know, and most of them are Gen Xers, man. My generation, dude. The guy that found it was a failed at something, but made money doing this. Former drug addict, started a kind of like a self-help organization where you help people, but it's a lot worse than what you would think or imagine. I think it's really, it's Scientology is, how you say, a get-rich scheme kind of thing that's been around for 70 years. 72 years. Almost 72 years. And it made someone rich until the head guy. Now, before Albert Hubbard died, he had a will, and the will was. Now, David Miscavige was a member of the Sea Org, 22 years old, 9th grade education, and Albert Hubbard had 2 people in mind that he put in his will, and after he died, David Miscavige took over the church by force. Okay? Albert Hubbard and a will. If Miscavige forgo the will, and he forced the wife, the widow of L. Ron Hubbard, to transfer control of the church to him. It was a mutiny of the cult. It was kind of like before David Koresh took over Mount Carmel in Waco, kind of thing. And he took control of everything. The cult, the people, even the money. It was post Operation Snow White. It was post Operation Snow White. The government was clamping down on the cult for what they did. And this happened between late 70s, early 80s-ish, where they broke into government buildings, find any files on the church. And it was the biggest break-in ever. L. Ron Hubbard was a failed science fiction writer. That's all he was. No more, no less. And he would lie to his members of his cult about what he did, all this shit. It never even happened. People would tell you, hey, this guy is a lying piece of shit. He's no physicist, he's no this. He's a failed science fiction writer who studied under Aleister Crowley. All this shit you see in Scientology is basically what he learned from Aleister Crowley, man. It's about control, man. You know? No more, no less. And the reason they have the cross is, well, we're a church. See the cross, we're a church. No, you're a cult. You're a cult. Half the people there do not know the laws to where you can stand in public and they tell you, well, the church owns a sidewalk. We don't. It's a sidewalk. People can stand here, you know. And, you know. So, let's see here. We're about almost 3 minutes in here. Now, this is one of the crazy cults next to Heaven's Gate, another science fiction cult. Just really kind of bizarre, maybe even more bizarre than that cult. Because the thing is, that cult where people have taken their own lives, the men end up getting kind of surgically castrated, where they had a I say it, a vasectomy and shit kind of thing. And but the Cult of Scientology, the membership is dropping, really dropping fast. Buildings they own in Florida is completely vacant, like vacant, Dustville. They don't have enough people to run those buildings. Very little membership. Under 9,000. Under 9,000 plus and dropping fast, folks. If you look at their assembly, they will create pictures and kind of mold them together as in, look how many people we got. You'll see the same person it's the same picture, but they kind of multiplied it to look like how many people members they have. It's all bullshit, folks. It's all bullshit, you know. And Scientology is like completely crumbling, man. Crumbling. You know. You have people in Hollywood leaving the church. Laura Prepon, who was on that 70 show, she left the church, you know. Lisa Marie Presley left the church. After she left, she died, man. You know, her mom left the church. Her mom left. I tell you what, if Elvis was alive when her and her mom became members of the church, he would go fucking nuts. He would go fucking nuts, dude, I swear. Elvis Presley would go fucking nuts. And he would want to strangle somebody for having his daughter and ex-wife in the church. Right? I'm wondering how much money of Elvis's was spent on the church, man. Because the daughter, the eldest daughter of Lisa Marie, runs to Graceland. She runs Graceland. You know, and she controls Graceland, you know. Yeah. Lisa Marie Presley's eldest daughter runs and controls Graceland, which is now a museum now. I bet they recruited him because of Elvis's money. You know, shit. You know, Elvis would go fucking nuts if he was alive, man. I'll tell you what, dude. He would go fucking nuts. Straight up nuts, man. Yeah. Straight up fucking nuts. And, yeah. Alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this feed. And, if you guys are new to this channel, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification. Always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed.